So it's day 2 here in Girraween National Park. I was originally only going to stay one night, but now I decided to stay 3, just because this is a pretty picturesque park, and it's got a pretty nice camping area as well. So I'm going to stay a few more nights and do some more photography here. Because I also checked the weather, and it's supposed to be nice and cloudy just like it was yesterday. So hopefully I'll get lucky and have 2 more sunsets. Well, I'm going to drive down the road a bit and find another trail to hike down, and then take another picture. So I decided to hike the trail today that goes to Turtle Rock and the Sphinx, they call it. It's about 4 kilometers into the end of the trail to Turtle Rock, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go there for sunset. That's where I'm headed, but if I find something more interesting between here and there, I might stop and wait for sunset. We do have several hours until the sun sets, so I do have plenty of time to scope out locations and find a composition. But yeah, so far the trail hasn't been too bad. A few steps at the beginning, and now it's kind of flattening out, going through all this nice woodland with all these boulders everywhere. So this is a real nice hike. It goes through little gullies like this that are just full of ferns, and you've got all these big granite boulders, which just make you feel so small. It's pretty interesting and very photogenic, that's for sure. And it is a bit chilly out today. It's about 8 degrees Celsius, which isn't too bad. With a nice flanny on, I'm pretty good. But it's just the wind's blowing, and then the sun will shine sometimes. So sometimes you'll get hot, then the wind will blow, and then you'll cool off. So it's a little bit uncomfortable. But I'm done whinging because I'd rather take this over the heat any day. Alright, so I made it to Turtle Rock, which is this big rock behind me, which kind of resembles a turtle shell. And this is the end of the trek here, and it wasn't too bad. It took about a little over an hour and a half to get here. So hiking back should take maybe an hour, because it was kind of hiking up in some spots. So I shouldn't have to hike too far in the dark tonight. But it said end of track, but there is kind of a little trail that's heading this way. So I'm going to kind of explore it and then do a little bit of rock hopping and try and find a composition. So I actually ended up coming up here to Turtle Rock. I couldn't find any compositions at the Sphinx, so I decided to try and find a way to the top here, and I kind of made it, and there's some really nice views up here. So I'm thinking I might shoot the Sphinx Rock now, just because I got a good view of it, and then yeah, you'll have the clouds for sunset and the mountains in the background. But I'm still going to kind of walk around, just look for other compositions and everything. It is a bit dodgy up here because it's pretty straight down, so I'm kind of walking on a 45-degree angle, and if you slip, you're pretty much done for. Nothing to grab onto, nothing to catch you from falling. So at least it's not raining, because if it rains, I'll be stuck up here because this will be like one big water slide. So I did end up finding a composition that I'm kind of happy with. I've got these kind of rocks in the foreground that's sort of framing the Sphinx that I have to the right of my frame. And the horizon line's a little bit over halfway through the frame, just because I want to get all the clouds in the scene, because there's some really nice clouds on the horizon. So I am going to put on a circular polarizer and a 3-stop grad filter to help balance it out. And the scene would be a lot better if I was on the other side of the rocks, because then the sunlight would illuminate the rocks in the foreground. So these are going to be a little bit dark, which is unfortunate, so I'll have to bracket my shots, which I might take the foreground images now, just because since it's just going to keep getting darker and darker, it doesn't really matter. There's no reason to wait for good light. So yeah, I am going to focus stack them as well. So I actually did change my composition just a little bit. It's the same as what it was, I just made it a little bit tighter and zoomed in a little bit more just to exclude some of this rock, because I didn't want too much of the rock in my scene to where it's distracting. I just wanted to kind of add a little bit of a frame to the image. So I added the graduated filter just to kind of make the image more balanced, and I also added the polarizer, and now I'm taking some images because we're getting some real nice sunlight in the scene. So I'm shooting at 1 2.5 of a second for my shutter speed, f11, ISO 100. And I think it's turning out alright. So I have been taking a lot of pictures in the last about 10 minutes, just because we've been getting some real nice light and it was changing pretty rapidly. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do a time blend or not, but again, I have the option if I want, just because I have the images. And it looks like the sun's finally set, so now we're starting to get some real nice color in the clouds. So now I'm at 1 second, f11, ISO 100. And I'm really watching my histogram just to make sure that I'm not overexposing for the sky. Because if I do decide to do a time blend, if it's too dark, it doesn't matter. I just need to make sure the highlights in the sky aren't blown out. Well, alright, the sun's gone down and all the good light has left the sky. I think the image turned out okay. I'm still not too happy with the composition, but it's kind of the best I could find in this location without spending too much time exploring these rocks. So I might come out here tomorrow and do some more exploring or try another location in this national park. I haven't decided yet, but I will still be here tomorrow. Just one more day, because again, it's going to be nice and real good conditions like it was today. So thank you for watching. Now I got the cold, long walk back in the dark. Then I'll go to camp, make some food, have a nice hot tea, and then go to bed and see what tomorrow brings. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.